Now here's something fun. Politics and animation. Am I right? But this didn't come from South Park or Family Guy or Rick and Morty. No, OKKO. That's right, children's cartoon. This morning, 5 new episodes of OKKO dropped on the Cartoon Network app. One of these episodes is called Let's Not Be Skeletons. The premise of this episode is a businessman named Gil Ferris strolling into the plaza, selling a new, accessory that he claims is intended to ward off crime and make people feel safer. And how it works is that it's a remote, and you press the button, and it turns people into skeletons. Forever. That's interesting. And throughout the episode, everyone in the plaza who gets their hands on one of these remotes just goes mad with it. Also, did I mention that the sign for the skeleton remote says that you don't need a background check to buy one? Oof. Yeah, this episode's about gun control. And they're not really subtle about it, nor should they be. And obviously the timing is impeccable. I don't think I need to remind anyone of the recent shootings, and by extension, controversy around gun control. So for OKKO to tackle this, one, the fact that it was already planned means that the crew of the show is pretty quote-unquote woke. No, but seriously, serious props to Ian JQ and the OKKO team, because this conversation isn't a brand new issue. It's been something that's been going on for years, and especially now more than ever, kids, the demographic of the show, should be the ones exposed to it, because they're the ones dying. They're the ones who have to go to school every day in fear. So I cannot be more proud of OKKO for tackling this. And honestly, the episode's pretty funny. It's not cringy or too ham-fisted, it's just not subtle, but they have fun with it. My favorite line of the episode probably has to come from Neil. He's a superhero type character, and KO in a panic trying to fix Rad and Enid, restore them to their original selves, bumps into Neil, and Neil just almost bodies KO instantly. And later on, KO's talking to another character, the name escapes me. When said character is zapped by the skeleton remote, KO looks over, it's Neil, he says,
I thought he was attacking you. Sorry.
Have we heard that before? There's just so many visual gags with Guard turning his office into a shooting range, holding up cutouts of Boxman, turning them into skeletons. The fact the Boxman robots start to buy the remotes. And one of the turtles actually refers to the remote as a death ray, to which Mr. Ferris corrects him saying, skeleton remote. Again, super on the nose. But it's still funny. The delivery and execution of the jokes, the fact they turned to skeletons but they're still alive. Is this episode the cream of the crop when it comes to OKKO? No. Is this still an example of just how important the show is? Definitely. While I may have a handful of other episodes I rank above this one, I'm still very glad I watched it, and I'm still very glad it exists. That kids will watch this, and maybe their parents will watch it with them and be like, oof, well, yeah, that's the thing. And I won't lie, I am kind of scared. Not that OKKO is going to be canceled or anything, because this episode is going to be controversial, but it is a very controversial topic. And I'm sure people out there who hold on to the Second Amendment, who are fighting for their rights to keep their guns, have children that possibly watch OKKO. How are they going to react when they see their child watching this episode? I will say I can see why someone would have an issue with this episode. Characters who are usually sensible yet goofy turn into just mindless, trigger-happy morons once they get their hands on the skeleton remote. Even if Mr. Gar at one point during the whole second musical number says, oh, I don't want to be held responsible for what idiots do with their weapons, it does still look down and almost demonize gun owners. And while I do understand and like the message, I think they could have portrayed it in a more equal and fair way, not skewing completely to one side. Because you want kids to form their own opinions, come to their own conclusions. And while that's evident by all the shootings in recent years, there are a lot of irresponsible gun owners out there. There are responsible ones out there with common sense, with reason. So I can completely see how they could see it as demonizing them and just insulting. But I think if Cartoon Network had the balls to put it out now, even if it's just on the app, then they definitely already had the conversation of what's gonna happen when we put this episode out there. Because nothing I just said, again, wasn't already being talked about for years. Also, it has 2 pretty good musical numbers. They're pretty catchy. And at the end of that musical number, Neil delivers another line that's pretty, relevant to say the least.
You can have this remote when you pry it from my cold, hard skeleton hands!
Again, I know there's always a big fuss when politics are interjected into entertainment, especially cartoons. And I'm sure there are people who feel, alright, kids probably shouldn't be exposed to this or learning about this. But I argue they should. At the end of the day, there are so many things that, at least from my experience in K-12, schools aren't teaching us, colleges aren't teaching us. Things that are important and related to our health and how we're going to survive, not just gun control. If the facilities that are dedicated to teaching them aren't going to teach them how to survive as an adult, then why not animation? And I don't want to generalize, but I feel Like the people who do say, oh, you shouldn't put politics into animation, especially a children's show, are the exact same people who say, oh, children's shows are just for babies. They had no merit, they're no value. They're just shows for kids to turn off their brain and watch. But that's the thing, this is all opinion. My opinion is, I adore this episode. I'm so glad it exists and was put out into the world. Could you consider it propaganda? Yes. There's no doubt about that. Does that make it inherently bad? Not at all. Yet as always, this is where I turn the conversation to you. What do you guys think? If you watched this episode, did you enjoy it? Did you feel like it was just too on the nose, that it wasn't funny, it did skew more to the cringy side? And if you haven't watched this episode yet, go watch it. It's available on the Cartoon Network app, but I'm sure some of you will find other ways of watching it. If you enjoyed this video, please sort of like, share, and if you're new here, subscribe. Hit that bell for notifications to stay in the loop with all things animation. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a beautiful day. AwestruckVox, signing out.